Here's a few movies to check out this week, currently on Netflix Instant. Action fantasy, Darkman. Liam Neeson plays a brilliant scientist that gets blown up by a bunch of evildoers, and his entire body is burned beyond recognition. Now, because of this, he can't feel pain, which he uses to his advantage in order to get revenge on the people who made him this way. This is one of the early post-Evil Dead Sam Raimi films, and it has that comic book feel that he later used in the Spider-Man movies. It's absolutely terrific. The action scenes are amazing. Larry Drake plays Durant, who's the lead bad guy, and he's just amazing. He makes such a fantastic bad guy. It's a shame that he didn't get to do more roles where he played a villain, because man, did he excel at it. He's just awesome. Horror. Last Shift. A rookie cop is spending her first night on duty on the last shift of a closing precinct. She has to stay in this police station by herself all night, and all kinds of crazy stuff starts happening. I saw somebody call it a mix of Assault on Precinct 13 with the supernatural, and that's a pretty good description. What happens is, as she's staying there, she starts to see ghosts of the past. She starts to unravel this story about a group of people that were arrested there and may or may not have been wrongfully imprisoned. The girl who played the rookie cop was really good, because the whole movie more or less rested on her shoulders. There were other people in the movie, but I'd say like 80% of the movie, it was just her by herself walking around this empty precinct. Mystery thriller, Stir of Echoes. Stir of Echoes suffered from an unfortunate dose of bad timing. Incredibly bad timing. It came out right around the same time as The Sixth Sense, and The Sixth Sense just steamrolled it. And it's a shame because, yes, The Sixth Sense is an amazing movie, but so is Stir of Echoes. Kevin Bacon plays a guy who gets hypnotized and starts to remember things that happened to somebody else. He's remembering things that happened to this girl who he doesn't know, and he starts to kind of go insane. This is a damn good movie, and it's such a shame that it got overlooked, and there were even some people that were calling it a ripoff of The Sixth Sense. And it totally was not. They had similarities, yes, but the two movies played out completely different. Kevin Bacon gives a phenomenal performance. He's so good in this. I mean, I like him in pretty much all of his movies, but this one, I think, is one of his best performances. Comedy Christmas. Christmas with the Cranks. When I first saw the trailer for this, I cringed because I thought it looked terrible. But then I heard it was based off the novel by John Grisham, Skipping Christmas. And I like the idea. It's this middle-aged couple and their daughter is away for the first Christmas in forever. And they start to look at how much money they spend on making Christmas happen, buying gifts for each other, putting lights up around the house, all that kind of stuff. And they decide that instead of wasting all that money, they're going to take all that money and spend it on themselves, thus skipping Christmas. I still think the name's terrible, but they had to change it because there was another movie coming out at the same time called Surviving Christmas. And of course, they didn't want to confuse audiences, so they changed it to Christmas with the Cranks, which, yuck. Like I said, I didn't expect to like this, and there were a few parts in there that were not in the book that they did just for the visual gag. Tim Allen decides to get Botox, and then, of course, like, he can't eat because his face is frozen. And they kept showing that in the trailer, which really is one of the things that set me off to it, where I was just like, oh god, this movie's going to suck. Thankfully, that was one isolated scene. They didn't do a lot of that kind of nonsense. It is a funny movie, though. What happens is the neighborhood discovers that they're skipping Christmas, and they start to kind of give them a hard time about it. They really are giving them grief. You don't understand the true spirit of Christmas. By not decorating your house, you're not getting into the spirit of things, and what's wrong with you, and blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of funny because the way that they fight back, but then they start to get into the spirit of things. And then, yes, they do rekindle the true spirit of Christmas. But you kind of knew that. It's not going to replace any of your holiday classics, but it's definitely one to check out if you haven't seen it already. That's all I got for this week. I'll see you next time.